Hey, this is Rick with Social Good Software. In this short demo, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can go ahead and run our automatic detach labeling system that we have built out. This is a great way for you to be able to run a process that we have developed to help you determine who an email should belong to. Now, this process is broken up into 3 different steps, and I'm going to share with those steps here with you. Step number 1 is we go ahead and compare certain values with other values. So in this case, we're going to be comparing the first name, last name in the email address. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to run a estimate of how many insertions are required in order for the name to be added into an email address. So let me go ahead and give you a quick example because it'll probably make a lot more sense. So let's say, for example, my name is Rick Hernandez and my email is rick@socialgoodsoftware.com. And let's say we have a duplicate record, and duplicate record is my legal name, Ricardo Hernandez. And then we have another duplicate record, Richard Hernandez. Now, they are all sharing the same email address, and that's what we're parsing on here. So each of these constituents are different records, and they're all sharing the same email address. So what we do here is we check for the first name right here. So we go and check, hey, is this first name currently available? So is this first name available within this email? So we can clearly see that it is right here. This part of the value is available. So no insertions are required. That is available there. And then we go over to the last name. Is the last name in the email? No, it's not. So we need to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 insertions into the email in order for us to be able to get the value in there. Okay? So now we go right here to the next name. So is Ricardo Hernandez in this email? Looks like RIC is in the name in the email. So we're going to need 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this is going to be 13 insertions. And then if we go to the next one here, same as before, we have 3 of them. So RICK. And then we're going to enter 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this is going to be a 13 insertion. So in this case, the winner here is going to be this one. And that's the one that's going to go ahead and assign the email. So that's pretty much how we go ahead and calculate the value of who the email should belong to by simply comparing the first name and last name in the actual email address. So that's one of the things we can control. The other thing we can control is we can apply certain values into when this constituents were added and also the number of sales orders attached. So if you look at here at my little test query that I've been working on, again, this query is just a test query. I have a couple duplicate records I'm attaching here. I'm attaching when it was first created. Then I'm also attaching the sales orders and the lookup ID, and I'm doing a count. So here's the count. And then if we take a quick preview here, we're going to go ahead and see when all these constituents were created. The first name, the last name, the email address associated with them, the number of orders they placed, and the system record ID. So just like before, we're going to go ahead and check with the first and last name if that belongs in the email. And we're going to repeat that process for each item and to determine who should essentially be the winner for the actual email address. So that's how that works. Then we're going to go ahead and apply a weighted average for when it was first added. So records that are older are going to get a heavier weight. And then records with more orders are also going to get a heavier weight, just because we know statistically that if your record's older and you have more orders on your constituent record, you're more likely to be the right person. We're going to go ahead and combine those two things. So we're going to combine checking the first and last name within the email. Then we're going to combine the date added and the number of sales orders. All right, so we went ahead and got our data. We have our data inside the Deduper app. And then now we actually want to go ahead and click on settings here. And we're going to go set this up. So we're going to go ahead and dedupe on the email address. And what this is going to do is going to group everybody that's sharing the same email. And then we're going to go ahead and get the system record ID. This is just the system record ID for this person specifically. And then we're going to go ahead and do the comparison values. So we're going to be comparing that first name and last name. So I'm just enabling these two options. So that's this column and this column. And we're going to be comparing that with the email address, which is this third column here. And we're going to click on next here. And then here's our weighted values where we're going to apply certain weight to certain items. So again, we're going to go ahead and apply it to when it was first added, giving it a little bit more weight there. And then also we're going to do it on the sales orders. So if you have a sales order, we're going to go ahead and apply more weight to that compared to others that don't have sales orders. So we're going to go ahead and click Save Settings here. It's going to go ahead and start searching for us here. And then it's going to go ahead and do the job. Now if we go ahead and click on one of these, you will see that there's this one marked with green and this one marked with orange. The one with green, we're essentially giving you a best guess that this is the one that should keep the email address. And this one should be dropped. And if we look at the data, we can see that this one was added in 2018. This one was added in 2015. Here's the email address. Here is the first name. Here's the last name. Here's their lookup ID for the total orders placed. And now if we do the math real quick here, so if we go back to a little math here, right here, for Rick to be inside the email address is 0 insertions because Rick is literally right here. So this is going to be 0. Hernandez is going to be 9 insertions because Hernandez is not currently anywhere there. Then the total sales orders attached here, we're going to subtract 5 because we're doing a weighted average for the ones that have the highest amount of sales orders. This one doesn't have any sales orders, so it's going to be 0. And then date added gets another 5 points essentially for having that. Again, we're doing a weighted average. So this one wins in this case because this is the older one. And then now if we go back over here, for first name, we have to do 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to do insertion of 4. And then for last name, it's going to be 9 again. And then now if we go ahead and do a sum of all these, so this gives you a score of 4. And then this one will be, which will be 4, and then 4 plus 4 gives you 8. So in this case, 4 is less than 8, so the winner is this one. And that's essentially us applying the algorithm here by hand. This one's 0 because this one won over here. And that's how we're able to adjust how the algorithm runs. So let's go ahead and clear the screen here. And then let's go ahead and look at the other one. So if we look at the other one, it runs through the same process again. And it goes ahead and applies it to the one that we think is the one that it should belong to. So that's essentially how this is put together. If we come back over here to settings, we can adjust these things. So for example, if we only want to compare first name and we do not want to compare the total sales orders, we're going to say date added. Click Save Settings. And this should give us a different result. So you can see here now I marked this one as the winner instead of this one last time. And if we look at the other one, it marked this one as the winner compared to the other one. Because again, we're ignoring the total sales orders. We're only taking into account the date. So you can go in there and play around with this for whatever makes sense for what type of data you want to run. In my case, the one that makes the most amount of sense is the first name, the last name, and then the total sales orders like this. and this is the output that I'm looking for. So in this case, this is the right person. This should get the email address. And then in this case, the same as well here. So this is the one that should be getting the email address. So that's pretty much all there is to running this process. Once you've kind of are happy with the output and you want to go ahead and save these results, all you have to do is click on download, click automatically attach, mark as detach, and then go ahead and click on export to Excel. And this is going to go ahead and put a report together here for you. And if I show it to you here, you will see the email addresses, and then you will see the ones that are marked as yes. These are scheduled to be automatically detached. So at this point, we're ready to go ahead and process this entire list as a batch process inside of Vaultru, and we can go ahead and detach all of those emails from those constituent records. That's going to go into here for me. If you have any questions about this process, please reach out. We're always happy to help.